Oh, are we live?
Almost.
Hey, Mike, we got a lot of credit for having such a great Dirty Air segment last week.
Because of you. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. No, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the stuff you said. I mean, it was education, man.
All right. We are live on
No,
YouTube.
Hey, everybody.
none of it applied over to this week, though, apparently. Nobody listened to that mattered.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in to the Ask Junior part of the show. Ask Junior brought to you by Xfinity. You guys have sent all your questions in to Xfinity Racing on Twitter, and we really appreciate it. Thanks to Xfinity for everything they do for us and for everything they do for our sport. I know that everybody probably doesn't realize how much their involvement matters, but it makes our sport better and makes it a lot more enjoyable for all of us. So we gotta appreciate them. We've had a pretty fun Dirty Air discussion. Obviously, a lot about Texas tires, the racetrack. Denny, Byron, Chris Buster is our guest, and he's out there in the lobby right now doing the pre-interview, and we're going to bring him in here to talk to him about some of that stuff as well, because we certainly want his opinion on what we need to do. And so it's been a fun morning, and I know you guys got a lot of great questions, so let's get right to them, Hannah.
Well, we'll go ahead and just kick off Ask Junior here with a little bit of a live reaction because people are actually already bringing it up in our YouTube chat. It was just announced that Jimmie Johnson is retiring.
Oh.
Will not be racing full-time in anything whatsoever, potentially going abroad for 2 years. What are your thoughts on that with you losing someone essentially here on the American side of things that is such a legendary racer?
I think it's awesome. I think that he's got so I've been talking to Jimmie a lot, and this is the thing. We're not going to lose Jimmie. Jimmie's going to race. Jimmie's going to keep racing. Jimmie's going to do Jimmie things. Jimmie's going to, you saw him over at Goodwood wheeling them old cars like a maniac. Jimmie's going to do those kind of things and maybe run in the 24 Hours of Daytona again, maybe run Le Mans. He may drive that NASCAR Cup car at Le Mans. We don't know, but I expect that he is going to pop up. If I were you, if you don't already follow him on Instagram and all his social media, he's going to be sharing with everybody everything that he's going to be up to over the next several years. And that'd be a great way to sort of vicariously live out whatever he's doing. And he's always into something, and I'm entertained by Jimmie as much off the track or as much today as I ever was when he was a driver. And so and my feeling is, man, I'm not losing anything. I'm actually more curious as to what this opens up for him creatively, and how he can, take us some places that he wants to go. And by all means, he'll be taking us. He's very, very comfortable sharing everything that he does in his life. And so I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest with you. I felt like that I wish things would have went better for him performance-wise on the IndyCar side, but it speaks to how difficult it is and how tough it is. And Jimmie probably isn't the same driver he used to be 10, 15 years ago. We all know Father Time's undefeated. And he's going to move on to some new challenges. So I'm looking forward to that. Hey, we got race cars in this shop. I'd love for him to come run a race with us. I'm sure he's not done driving stock cars. I'm sure there's a little bit in there left of, I'd like to try it one more time, or I missed this racetrack I used to love racing at. Come talk to us, Jimmie. I'm sure he's gonna. He may end up in that Project 91 car. You don't know what he's gonna do. This dude is a maniac, and although he's my age, he's still a kid at heart and he's got a lot of spunk, left in him, and so I expect to see him pretty busy.
Yeah, he's running Le Mans this weekend in that 48 Action Express car, and he credited a lot of it to being his kids.
Well,
his kids are starting to grow up, you know what I mean, and spending time with them. And
Hannah, did you get the feeling Dale already knew this news?
Yeah,
I got the feeling he did.
Which is pretty standard, if we're being honest.
Yeah. I was shocked. He's like, I'm happy. And I'm like, wait a second. He knew about this already.
You'll be where I am in a couple weeks.
Hey, at least he didn't do that fun thing. Oh, boy. See?
I'm saying I was where you were a couple weeks ago.
I don't understand.
Shocked.
Never
Yeah,
mind.
he got the news
a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So you'll be feeling this good about it.
You
in
knew
a few
this for
more-
a couple weeks and didn't leak it?
I was gonna say at least he didn't do the
not
whole
mine.
thing.
It's not my story to tell.
He didn't tweet about it, so we're good.
All right.
And I mean, the guy might change his mind or something. I don't be out there. I already made a mistake with but
Yeah, that other
releasing
deal.
Kyle's news. I don't
Yeah.
want to. I learned my lesson.
Well, I'm happy for Jimmy if you're happy for Jimmy.
Yeah.
All right, this next one kind of actually, you kind of mentioned it, but Doug Perk goes, if you could take your 5th Xfinity car, the number 88, to a race and put a driver in from an underfunded or lower tier team, whether it be Truck, Xfinity, Cup, who would you like see get an opportunity?
Probably Kyle Weatherman.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think what he's been able to do in Jesse Woodgie's car is pretty impressive. And I just think he's got some good pace and speed, and it'd be interesting to see how he might do. Let's see. You got anybody on top of mind?
I doubt this
thought
is what
you
they're
had-
talking. I want to see Corey LaJoy in big
Corey,
equipment.
yeah, that's a great dude. That's your
I'd love
your
it.
dream. Man.
I think
like
he's
it.
good.
Yeah. I think Corey in a Hendrick car would be cool. To that type of equipment would be interesting. But who was the boy Bailey Curry that ran?
Monster Trucks?
No,
Did he
no.
run Monster Trucks?
No. What was the boy that ran at Bristol in the 4? Dang it, he's in the Xfinity series.
Bailey Curry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was right. So he had a really, really good run at Bristol last week in the 4 car for JD Motorsports, and he ran pretty good in the truck race, I think. So when you see guys do those kind of things, Stephen Parsons has had a couple good weeks in that 45. People recognize that, people see that, I see it, and so and I see the comments on social media about it. That support. Like when I watch it happen, and then I see other people feeling my feelings, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a real thing. That I need to. That's how that's how you remember those runs by these guys long after it happened. Is by I guess getting that affirmation on from other people that feel the same way. So there's 2 or 3 runs by a couple guys just in the recent month that have got some people curious about their ability and what they might be able to do in some real cars.
I just lost this comment, but someone had asked the question here in the chat. Oh, here we go. From Cole Dutton. He said, when you switched to Hendrick, you started using a small steering wheel. During your final season, it looks like you switched back to a larger steering wheel. Can you explain the different wheel sizes and how that benefits you?
I think that I believe way back in the Bud days, we ran, I think, a 16-inch. Then we went to 15, then 14. The steering boxes went from 12 to 1 to 10 to 1 to 8 to 1. They got faster. So, I would look over and go, what's Jimmy doing? What's he got on his car? Oh, that looks small. I don't know if I want to run that small, but I'll go a little smaller. I'll meet in the middle. And then you go, we had the setup sheets from Stuart Haas because they were Chevrolet at the time, and the 4 car with Harvick was flying everywhere, and man, he's running an 8-to-1 box. We ain't running but a 10-to-1. Well, let's try it. Okay, throw it on. Well, I don't feel any different. If he's faster, we're going to keep it. Those are the reasons why those happen. You don't really have. There's not like it's not something that you're doing or you're thinking that's driving it. It's what you're seeing in the garage. And if somebody comes to the racetrack with, and I'll use this example. It's silly, but just to get under Jeff Burton's skin, if somebody showed up with white wheels and just won every race, everybody'd be at the racetrack the next week with white wheels. It's we watch everything that's going on, and when you see something, you think, oh, maybe that's quicker, maybe that's better. I need to try it. Let me try it. I did not go down and back up. I think I went to a 15. On the road courses, I would run a really, really small wheel, like a 14. But that's just because you really want, on a road course, left and right, you want the car to drive like a go-kart, so you get that steering as fast as you can. And then, on the bigger tracks, you want that steering to slow down a little bit. At least in your hands, you want your hands to slow down. And so you get a little bit bigger on the steering wheel so your hands are smoother. The box and all the stuff under the hood can be quick and darty, as much as the crew wants to make that. But the actual movement of your hands is kind of what a driver, I think. I would, and to be honest with you, I would hate the next-gen car because of that rack steering and how quick it is. I'm watching them drivers, man, and they go in the corner. They only move their hands.
It's just like this.
Yeah, it's like, and then, no. Like, I need to be driving that thing. What the hell? I mean,
do they run quickeners in them, or they just have that fast a steering box?
I think that it's that brand.
Really?
Or, it's like, hey, man, here's your steering.
4-1.
Good luck.
4-1.
Wait. This is way too fast. Sorry. Everybody's got the same thing. You'll get it. No, thank you.
All right, this last question here. A couple people have actually kind of chimed up about it, but obviously an incredible season that Noah has been having and the run that he's been going on. Where do you know where the Waffle House tradition has come from, and what is your go-to Waffle House order?
I haven't been to Waffle House in a long, long time. But I think that, Noah and his guys are going to, they're going to have fun and they're going to have their traditions. And I think that's a great idea for them to develop traditions and things that they enjoy. It's great to be able to build camaraderie amongst your team. After that race, this is a fun story. We were standing in Victory Lane, and I'd forgot that Noah was going to race Cup on Sunday.
The next day.
Yeah. And so I'm standing there, and I'm like, hey, man, Noah's like, man, we're going to leave the track. Only he got the cowboy hat. I got to start over. So we're in Victory Lane, and he's got a cowboy hat on. The guy brings over a stack of 5 cowboy hats and says, all right, Noah, pick your size. Noah's, okay, this is my hat. And I went over there, and I said, hey, man, can I borrow one of those? I just want it for the picture. And they're like, I don't know. And I was like, just give me one of them 7 3/8. I'm just going to borrow it for 5 minutes. And the guy's looking around at his coworkers going, is this okay? Is it all right to loan this guy?
Anybody know who this guy is that's asking for the hat?
Exactly. And I was like, okay, all right. And they finally, one of the ladies is like, yeah, just let me have it. So I take the hat and I walk back over there, and I'm like holding the hat. I'm just going to put it on real quick for this photo, just with Noah and the trophy. And we're standing there, and Noah says, I told the team guys, I said, man, I got to give this hat back. They don't want me to have it. They really didn't want to give it to me. And the guy's like, here, I'm gonna take off running with it. I'll just run to the holler with it. And I was like, no. It's like, and Noah's like, I'm gonna take all y'all to the strip mall across the street, and I'll get all y'all hats here in a minute. After we're done here, we're gonna leave the racetrack, and then we'll go to Cole Swindell at Billy Bob's tonight. And
I saw that.
They had already planned that, right? And so I said, wait, you're going to see Cole? And he goes, yeah, we're all going to see Cole tonight. And I said, well, hell, let's FaceTime Cole. So I pulled my phone out and I FaceTime Cole Swindell. And I was like, hey, Cole. I was like, here's the winners, man. I was like, you got to drag them on stage. If you don't drag them on stage, we're going to be really disappointed. They're going to bring the trophy. And they did. They took the trophy and hopped up on stage in front of everybody and got a selfie with the entire crowd. I got the hat back over there to the guy so he didn't get in trouble. I got my picture. It was a fun little celebration. And I could tell when we were sitting in the media center, Noah was doing everything he could to try to get out from driving that Cup car on Sunday.
Yeah.
Because he was like, man, I want to go party. Right?
You want to go celebrate.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there thinking, man, I would be feeling the exact same thing. I'd be like, hell with this Cup race, man. I'm gonna go to
Billy Bob's.
I am going to see the sun come up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
You probably gave that poor intern, because it was probably an intern doing the hats, a scare. He's like, my one job is to make sure these 5 hats get back.
Yeah.
And how do I tell Junior no?
I'll be honest. If you're worried at all about Noah's focus and commitment, I mean, to have won the race, take the team to Billy Bob's for a Cole Swindell concert, and make it back in one piece, and then race the race the next day at 500 miles and 100-degree temperatures, the kids focused and got all his priorities at least in a much better order than they might have been 3 or 4 years ago. So good on him.
Perfect. Well, that is it for this week's Ask Junior.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in and supporting us. It's been a busy weekend, and we got a big show for you. A lot of opinions, and I'm sure you'll have some of you agreeing and some of you disagreeing, and all of you is going to have some solutions, hopefully, for some of the things we need to straighten out. But tune in for Christopher as well. I like Chris Buescher a lot, have since we've raced against him in the Xfinity Series, and he beat us for that championship that one year. Really impressed me a lot. Ever since then, he's been grinding away trying to get it going in the Cup Series, and this year it's finally happening for him. So can't wait to learn more about him today. And thank you to Xfinity and Xfinity X5. Great service. If you haven't checked it out, if you need, if you're kind of curious about how much better that service might be, I'm a customer, and I can tell you won't be disappointed. Thank you, Xfinity, for everything you do for us. So we'll see you next week on the Dale Jr. Download.